for people who are planning to live in the home,
of course,
it's always a good time to buy.
Yeah, sure.
If you're a flipper, it may not be a good time to buy at the peak.
Because that is a business.
Yeah, because you want to sell this thing in 6 months. There are better times than others, but if you're a homeowner and you're looking to buy a primary residence, it's always a good time.
From the grit and the grind to successful minds, live from the entertainment capital of the world, your hosts, Jillian Batchelor and Daryl Hannah.
Hello, hello, hello. It's Jillian Batchelor and
Daryl Hannah.
with Vegas Real Talk. And we're here today talking about all things Las Vegas, real estate, construction, interest rates, building, just all exciting things, right, Daryl?
Yeah, that's right.
So, Daryl, who are our special guests that we're here with us today?
Well, we're with Landon Miller Homes, who's a builder here in town, local builder, but he also does a lot of other stuff too.
And a lot of luxury building. And we
secret
also
stuff.
have Courtney Beauford, who's like the killer on our team. He knows
Yep.
everything new homes.
Yeah.
He is. He's our sniper. He knows everything about new homes. If you guys are interested in new homes, that's who you go to.
What's his nickname? New Home Ninja?
New Home Ninja.
Yeah, the New Home Ninja.
And that is also because he does jujitsu, you guys. So there's like a little bit of play
He
on
will
words
choke you
there.
out. It's true.
Yes.
Am I too close to him on the couch here?
Hey, you better watch out, Landon. All right, so Landon, tell us a little bit about you. I've heard great things. I've seen your homes. We've sold your homes. But for those out there that don't know in radio and TV and YouTube land, tell us.
Yeah, so I moved here about 3 years ago from California, and I was doing real estate out there for about 12 years and had a company out there and then had a real estate software company. So I've kind of been around the world for a long time. Started coming out here probably 4.5 years ago and started dating somebody. And
It wasn't Daryl Hannah, for the record.
It wasn't. No. It was not Daryl. All right, you're good there. So yeah, so we started dating and saw the houses out here and decided to move out here. And I was wondering why every house kind of looked very similar.
Wait, Vegas cookie cutter homes you don't love.
Shocking,
is that what you're
right?
telling
It's
me?
so true though. Like
What's
a lot of neighborhoods, like
Every
I don't know,
house.
you can forget where you live sometimes.
It's
You're
the
just like, is it the
standard
fifth house
Vegas?
down or is it the fourth house down?
The standard
Like,
Vegas cookie cutter stucco box home. So Landon wanted to change it.
he wants to change it.
That was the goal.
like it.
That was the goal. So I came out here and I went to my now father-in-law and started asking him a few questions about the business and getting into building. And
Because your father-in-law,
he works. He's been in building here for 30 years.
oh, okay. So he's the right guy to talk to.
Yeah, so he had quite a few contacts for me, helped me out, introduced me to the right people, led me down the right path, and started designing some homes that truly I really liked more than anything. And got some land, got some people to invest from California that I used to do some business with, and just went after it and kind of
Nice.
taught myself through fire. And yeah, now we're here.
Which is the best way. Hardest way, but it's
The hardest
best way.
and the best for
Yeah,
sure.
It was.
Yeah, there's a
So-
lot of frustrating days.
What was the first house you built? Just tell us the specs on it. Like, how big was it?
Yeah.
Give me some ideas.
So the first house we built was 4,354 square feet.
Wow, good memory.
It
Where was it
had
at?
it was in Northwest, so Northwest, right off Lone Mountain 215 area.
Yep. Courtney and I love
and-
that area.
Oh,
do.
I love it as well. It had a 4-car garage plus an RV garage, so you had about 1,700 square feet of garage. It was a mid-century modern home, so kind of lower level roof lines, very open floor plan. My whole goal was to build a home that was a lot of square foot, but at the same time very livable, and it was usable square feet. I think that was kind of my biggest issue with a lot of homes that I see is they're 4,300 square feet, but it's not a usable 4,300 square
Yeah.
feet, you know? And so that was kind of my plan in designing the home.
Was this a spec house or was this a...
No, it was
you
not.
built
It was
for
actually
somebody?
for a buyer.
Okay.
So yeah, we bought the land, we started selling the lots, and he was the first person that bought from me. And we started building his house. That first house went very quickly.
So you came up with a floor plan, or he totally, like, it was custom? Tell us about that.
Yeah, so we have 2 different floor plans right now that we're offering. We're working on a few other ones, and then 3 different elevations, so style of the outside for people that may not know that term. But yeah, so we designed the floor plans and laid them out, and then they got to choose between those 2 and then either 3 of the elevations.
How workable are the floor plans with you? Are you willing to
So-
budge on it a little bit or what?
So yeah,
My
we
customs.
I like to call us the most custom production builder out there, if that
Okay.
makes sense. So we have a lot of structural options that do allow you to move walls, add walls, etc. Anything that doesn't affect our plans with the county is kind of what I'm willing to do.
Okay.
So as long as we don't have to get it permitted and as long as it's not going to cause any issues with inspections or structurally, I try to accommodate as much as I can.
Now, what if somebody had deep pockets.
And wanted full
and
custom
just
home.
wanted full. Do you do that too?
Yeah, so that is really why I got into this business, is to get into large custom homes. That's what I enjoy. I love the design process. I love helping clients kind of figuring out their plan and kind of mood and vision for the home. So that is my goal. And again, I know you said you're going to get into that a little bit more later.
Now, do you have a designer that will do that with you?
So yes, so we have designed, actually me and my wife have designed all of the spec homes we've built so far. For clients that come in, they do have a design center that they go to, and they can pick all their interior finishes, etc. there.
Nice.
Yeah, and then I'm also a little bit lenient if they don't see something they love there. I can go to Arizona Tile or wherever and kind of pick out what they like, and we'll price it out for them.
Cool.
I like it. So that brings us forward to tell us the coolest house you have ever built.
What's your favorite?
Something super custom, or is it what you're designing now?
I think it's the one I'm working on now. I think production wise, I built a modern farmhouse that I love the finishing on. It has 14-foot ceilings.
Wait, where's that?
That's in the Northwest as well right now.
Is it done? Can I see it?
It is done, and you can see it.
Wow.
Okay. Wait, what are the
Yes.
cross streets? What are the cross streets?
Yeah, it's over off of Fort Apache and Craig.
Okay, because I feel like that's very much my design.
Yeah,
Why
all
are you
half
trying to
acre
seduce
lots.
me? Landon's trying to seduce me.
I can show you anything you want. We have all sorts of things, but I think my favorite one right now is the one we're starting to design. It's a large spec home up in Southern Highlands, and that's going to be the most fun project I've done so far.
Nice. Well, when you say it's going to be the most fun, which
Yeah,
is
and, you,
fun
and you
to
say
you?
large.
12,000 square feet, a lot of just very custom features. Try to incorporate a lot of glass features, a lot of fire features. Again, when you say 12,000 square feet, that sounds like a very massive house. But my goal is to make it very livable. And you go into some 12,000 square foot houses and they feel like mansions. You go to other ones that feel livable and like a home. That's kind of my goal with every house that I
Like
design.
cozy, you know.
Exactly, a
12,000
cozy
square feet.
12,000 square foot house. Yeah.
You know what I'm really digging lately is the whole glass, stone, steel. I don't
Yeah,
know. There's just something about
All the
that.
elements, bringing in the elements.
Yeah.
So Courtney, tell us a little bit, because I know you really like Landon's homes. You sold his homes. You've been in his homes. What do you like about Landon's homes? And Courtney, because you're the new home ninja, what are you seeing out there, and how is Landon
Yeah, what makes
different?
him different from like
How's he different?
the builders?
So I just happened to come across Landon. I was driving around the Northwest, saw a sign, hadn't recognized it. You guys know I sell up there a lot. So I literally pulled over, went over, walked around, saw no one was there at the time. Went and grabbed my drone, came back, started droning, and here comes Landon. Walking, he's like, "Can I help you?" I'm like, "Oops." I'm like, "Yeah, my name's Courtney, blah blah blah." And he's like, "Oh, I'm Landon." I look back at the moniker. I'm like, "Oh, you're the
Landon,
guy."
yeah.
So the thing I like about Landon's homes are a couple things. Number one, half-acre lots. The product that we're talking about that I put in the contract is all single story, really cool elevations, and just really when you walk into them, it's not tight. It's immediately boom, like it's very open and very welcoming. It's got a huge loggia in the back that you can see from the front door. It just really felt good. Didn't take me much. I had a client that they had seen pretty much everything around town. It was with another agent, and a friend of mine reached out and said, "Can you help this guy? He's looking for XYZ." And I just literally the week before I had been at Landon's place. So I call him up. I'm like, "Hey, dude, I think I got somebody for you." He's like, "I'm like, can I come by?" He's like, "Yeah, come right now." I think a day later we're in contract.
Yeah,
Like,
it didn't take very long.
Not at
That's
all.
awesome. And is that house being built right now as we
It is
speak?
being built. Yep, it's at
How far away
frame
is
right
it?
now.
Just about done framing. So
Okay.
we're just about done framing, and so we got another 4 months or so, 4 or 5 months.
Nice. Well, that's
So-
Be
exciting.
clear about that. That's a 4,000 plus square foot home with an RV garage on a half-acre lot at 1.4.
And
that's
start to
insane.
finish, what's that going to take you?
So right now, it used to be a lot quicker. Now we're going through some changes in the business, but we're going about a year right now,
Okay.
start to finish.
Which is
But
still
I mean,
pretty
you're
good.
also and an RV garage. So you guys know me. I'm all about the outdoor toys, the ATVs, the boats, the trailers, the RVs. So I love a massive RV garage. And so tell us the sizes that you will build. Is it a single bay? Is it a dual bay? Because I heard you talking about one, which I have an RV garage on my property right now. It's about 1,700 square feet with a bathroom, and it's air conditioning, fully finished.
Ridiculous.
Tell us about
It
yours.
sounds ridiculous. So ours are you either have a 40-foot or a 50-foot option, depending on which home you go with.
I like 50.
Yeah, and most people do. And you can get AC units in it. We can finish it to a certain extent. Plumbing wise, I've had a lot of people ask about bathrooms.
Yep.
Unfortunately, our plans don't allow us to do one. However, there is plumbing there, so if you were to do one after the fact, it's pretty simple.
Okay.
A lot of people are using them as gyms, game rooms. We have people doing everything.
But tell me about that really quick when you say your plans that you've had approved with the cities, what you're saying.
Yes, the county plans.
Or city or county, wherever you're at. And so if you were to go, but if I were to, now.
Custom, we can do
What
it.
if I just threw all the money in the world at you? Could you?
I can build you whatever you want.
could
Yeah,
change
so
it,
basically,
right?
so if I find a lot.
Whatever you want.
And I have a lot for sale right now. Anyone else who's looking at a half-acre lot ready to go.
Oh, there you go.
Shameless plug.
You guys call
Shameless
me,
plug.
get the lot, Landon will build you the house.
There you go.
Boom, deal done. And then Courtney will resell it for you afterwards when it's a spec. There you go. Got a team of 3 right
Daryl.
here. So, but if they find it, then you can help
Absolutely.
find it.
That's really the goal, is to start doing custom homes. So, I mean, obviously you have your lot there. Hopefully you sell it. And I mean, yeah, they come to me and say, hey, this is our vision. This is kind of what we want to build, or help me design something. That's what I really want to do. That's fun. That's exciting. Not that this isn't.
Yeah.
But that's a lot more hands-on and a lot more kind of imaginative. And I really like that side of it.
Got it. I love it. And so talk to us for people who don't know about that. People who don't know, like if I just buy a custom lot, a lot of our clients don't know what the process is. So if they were to just find a custom lot, they were to buy it, it can be financed, you guys. You can pay cash or you can finance it. We can help refer you to lenders if you need be. Then what is the next step? They get in contact with you. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so you get the lot, and the first step is seeing whether or not the lot is ready to go, or if there's some underground work, grading, entitlements, things like that. Usually a single lot will be ready to go in most cases right now. So what we would do is we'd sit down and we'd start designing the floor plan, and kind of you'd give me the 15 or 20 things that are must-haves, is what I call them. And then we'd start designing a floor plan, the square footage, kind of give me an idea about that, garage space. And we'd go through that process, usually depending on how fast people make decisions. That could go anywhere from a month to 3 months, I guess. And once we have the floor plan dialed down, we start working on the outside. So what do you want it to look like? How do you want it to feel? Do you want porches? Do you want beams, etc.? Then from there, we go to architectural. Okay. And our architect will sit there and put it to paper. And then we get approved through the city. So architectural, structural, mechanical, all that's kind of lumped into one. And then we'd bring it to the county and go through the approval process there. They're taking anywhere from 2 to 4 months, maybe 5, depending on the situation. And then we start building. And so the whole process, I'd say, is about 18 to 24 months from start to finish if you're going to build a custom home.
Okay.
Gotcha.
And so Courtney, so talk to us a little bit about that as well. When you're talking about your client, the house that he bought again has an RV garage, 4,000 square feet for 1.4. Tell us the specs again.
Yeah, so the house itself, square footage wise, is a little bit over 4,000. There's 2 options for the RV garage. There's the regular RV, and I think you call it the super RV.
Yeah, on that model, there's a super RV, which is the 50-foot on that.
Right, and so he's basically building these little cul-de-sacs, which if you're driving up Ann Road, you're
You
driving
see
up
'em.
Craig. No, on Craig you would, but on Ann you really wouldn't.
Yeah.
So you'd have to kind of know that he's there, which is, to me, he's the best known secret in town, because when people are running around paying $400,000 for a lot up in Summerlin that's 8,000 square feet, you can go down here right off of the 215, get a single story on a half acre with no lot premium.
Yeah.
Why would you not do that?
Yeah. No,
And
that's
I think
great.
a lot of people aren't, because they just simply don't know.
They simply don't know.
Yeah,
They don't know
exactly
that.
right.
And
But let me
that's
ask,
why you're here.
so being a builder,
Yes, sir.
you're selling the lot and the home package. So someone pays 1.4,
They're
that
paying
includes the price of the lot.
Yeah,
typically.
so we don't do lot premiums. We're probably one of the only builders. There's a few out there that don't as well, but one of the few builders that don't do lot premiums. And what happens, we have a base price. Obviously, it's a little bit higher than what Courtney's client got it at now.
Yeah.
But we have a base price, and then we have all the structural and design options. So we try to make our base very high standard. So when you do upgrade, because almost everybody's going to, it's not like you're playing an arm and leg for it.
Yeah.
Instead of going to spend $700,000 in upgrades, we try to. Most of our clients with structural and design are somewhere between $250 and $400 all in.
Yeah.
On top of the base price.
Yeah, that's great.
Gotcha. And to get financing for a custom home, don't you typically have to own the lot?
So for a custom home,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
For kind of our communities that we're building, you can get a normal loan. Obviously, you don't lock in your interest rate till about a month or so before we close.
Gotcha.
But you can get a normal loan just like you're buying any other resale house.
Yeah.
For a custom home, that is a little bit different in the fact that you have to loan the lot, and you also have to come up with some sort of construction financing or cash to fund the project.
Yeah.
And they do an appraisal with whatever your
Exactly.
floor plans are versus the lot.
100%.
Yeah.
So
So it's a little different if you're trying to do custom versus doing it with you.
Yeah, doing it with us, you don't have to come up with
Which is
any
awesome
money
because
until
you're like
the
a
end.
one-stop shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No money till the end when you do it in our communities. If you're doing custom, obviously you have to fund the project.
That's great.
So Landon, so you've been doing this now for 3 years. I think is what you told us. You were building these houses for 3 years. And with that, obviously the market has been great. It's been on fire. 3 years, the last 3 years has been incredible. We're starting to see a little bit of a market turn. I don't want people to panic. That does not mean that we're in a full-blown buyer's market, you guys. That means that we were in a highly accelerated, on-fire seller's market. Now we're going into a regular seller's market. But with that being the case, we know that interest rates were raised just last week. We know that interest rates were raised this week. We know the Fed is meeting tomorrow and maybe raising interest rates again. Yeah. So have you seen that adjust your market at all? Have you seen any of your, not yet, or maybe we'll talk a couple months from
It's
now?
interesting. A good majority of our clients have been cash buyers. So obviously that doesn't affect them.
Coming out of California or where?
That when I first started doing this, I thought the majority were going to be California buyers, and they have not been. I actually only have 2 California buyers.
Wow.
A lot of people coming from Summerlin, a lot of people coming from other places in Vegas that want a little bit more space, a little quieter. So interest rates, I was in real estate prior to this, and interest rates, in my opinion, they are what they are. And I mean, obviously that changes what people can afford.
Yep.
But with that said, if you want a house, you're going to pay the interest rate. And that's part of it. Do I think it's
Especially
once
once they get over the little shock and awe, right?
Of course, exactly. That little 5.5 now doesn't look so great, but but I think that could they affect us? Yes, but I mean, and as you guys can all attest to, right now on the market in Vegas, between $1.5 million and $3 million, there's not a whole lot out there, especially in terms of new houses.
Right.
There really is not.
There's
yeah.
not very many options, even resales, new houses. For sure. I mean, I look on a daily basis just because I'm curious, and I mean, there's not a whole lot of houses out there. So I think we may take a little effect, but I haven't seen it. And in that price point, I'd like to continue to keep ours under $2 million, and that's kind of the bread and butter point is what I've seen.
Yeah, and I mean, the videos that I've been doing, I've been saying the same thing. I almost feel like, now I'm speaking just about Vegas, that our supply and demand will keep us going, right? Because there's so many people coming to Vegas still, and there's not enough homes.
And finally, different business sectors. Now we're starting to get tech companies and other businesses, sports, and things like that we didn't have for years and years.
So the rest of the nation obviously is headed for not so good times, but I almost feel Vegas is going to be a little insulated from a lot of that. Not that we won't feel anything, but I really feel the housing market in particular is going to continue to keep on rolling ahead because it just has to.
Well, and we're on like a desert island, an actual desert island where we're landlocked, right? There's just sand around us. It's not like California where you can go from one city to the next, the next, and the next. You're hours out before you get to another city. And I know, Courtney, we were talking today in our team meeting about inventory levels and what's happened. And even though we're at about 5,700 homes on the market today, that is still so low for the population. You guys were at almost 2.5 million people. And even interest rates, Courtney, I know you've been selling long enough. Interest rates are still very low.
They are. And it's funny, too, because I think people get used to things very quickly, just like we got used to restrictions on what we could do very quickly. So people see that 2.5, 2.7, and they think that's what we do now. That's where we live. That wasn't real to begin with. It was meant to stimulate something, right? So 4, 5, 6% is not, if you look at it historically, is not that different than what we are used to. The last 3 months are is what's different, right? Or the last 3 years, rather, is what's different. So I think once people kind of get over that fact and decide whether, if they want the property, this is what you have to do. That's the bottom line. If you don't want the property, then go pay $3,000 a month for an 1,800 square foot home.
To rent it or something.
Rent. Right. Those are your options, but crying about it is not going to help you.
Well, and let's talk about that a little bit too, because we were talking about the hedge funds this morning, and we were talking about last year, Las Vegas had record-breaking sales. We sold 75,000 homes in the city of Las Vegas, or when I say city, it's like city, North Las Vegas, Henderson, all of it. We sold, and that was record-breaking. But out of that, 17,000 were bought by what we call hedgies or institutional buyers, hedge funds. Those hedge funds are just dollar cost averaging now. They're still buying. People think that they've stopped buying. They haven't stopped buying at all. They're paying all
snapping up
cash.
all my listing.
Yes, it is. It is. So I have a listing. It was in North Las Vegas. Was a former model. I have one or two, in my pocket. We listed it for $535. The highest comp was $525, but this was a former model, vacant property. Hedge fund comes in, $561, cash. Remember, highest comp is $525, $561 cash. And they're like, yep, we're ready to close, no problem, ready to go. And it's because they're dollar cost averaging. People will say, well, why would they do that? Why would they do that? And they won't do it for all properties. Don't get me wrong. They're still stealing other people's equity. All they did was buy 10 properties in that community before that for maybe $450.
I'm trying to raise the comp.
They sold equity from those 10 people, and then one person got lucky, and they give them extra equity because of the fact that they're trying to raise now the comps of the other 10 homes that they own.
Which is what Zillow got in trouble for.
Oh, can't mention any. But we understand that other companies, other big companies have gotten in trouble for doing those same things because you were basically artificially inflating the market. Also, in those homes that those are buying, those are going to be forever rentals, forever. They see a 20, 30, 40-year plan. So those starter homes, let's say, are going to be homes that are never going to come back on the market for the first-time buyer or the second-time buyer. So now we've effectively raised the price of what a first-time buyer will have to pay on a home and taken some of those people out of the housing market unless they get a huge income raise or they get a windfall of money. So we have to understand what's happening in the market right now. And it's a lot bigger than the actual surface picture. But also that is partially what will partially keep Las Vegas and Southern Nevada's housing market prices stable, because the fact that they're being pushed up artificially because these hedge funds, these Wall Street money, they don't want to lose money. Yeah. So when people say, I'm going to wait for the market to drop, well, the hedge funds will just come in and buy another 17,000 homes, which is effectively 22 to 25% of all houses that are on the market. They'll just come in and buy those, then elevating the price. Because now if they've bought a 2,500 square foot house for $600,000, in the same neighborhood, the $300,000 house or 3,000 square foot house can't be $600,000. It now has to be $800,000. Right. And that 4,000 square foot house now can't be $800,000. That has to be $1 million. So it has to affect everybody rolling up.
Well, they're going to protect their investments. So. And
so, Courtney, if we're talking kind of luxury homes with Landon, which is so nice, or even let's say upper middle class, right? Upper middle class to kind of that luxury entering home. But if you were not a luxury buyer and you were asking questions just about today's market and what is happening, what would you say? Like if you were the average $500,000 to $900,000 buyer in Las Vegas.
What would I say about what?
About should I buy? Should I buy? Should I wait? Should I rent? Should I wait for interest rates to go down?
Always yes. Literally, the answer, and not because of the obvious answer, but just because you need that piece of property for you to insulate yourself from inflation, to not be paying someone else. At the end of the day, rates are always going to be like this.
Yep.
So there is going to be a time where they are going to come down, right? If you buy that 5.5, you have the opportunity to refinance at some point. It might not be next year, it might not be the year after, but at some point you're going to be able to gain what you've lost there, so to speak. And really, you haven't lost anything. Our parents paid 13, 14% for their homes, and they made no complaints about that.
Well, and remember, when you're renting, you're paying 100% interest.
Exactly right.
So, and you know, myself as a landlord, and I never like to gouge any of my tenants ever. But when the lease comes up for renewal, I will look at the market rent. And like I just did 2 of them just this week. My tenants have been in there 1 year. The market rent on both those homes went up $500 each. And I went to my tenants and I said, you're paying me $2,300. You should be paying me $2,800 to rent this property. Do you want to meet in the middle? And they graciously said, yes, we'll pay $2,550. And because they know that if they don't take my offer, the next time they go out in the market, they're going to be $2,800 or more.
Right.
And from 1 year, it's so they're absolutely being affected by inflation. They're also being affected by gas prices and you know, stocks being crashed and crypto being crashed and everything out there and food costs going up. So it's always safe to buy because, you know, your mortgage payment is not going up every year $500 a month, which right now our rentals are going up $500 a month on average on any pretty typical rental.
Yeah,
for sure.
I heard one of the sharks, Barbara
Corcoran. Yeah. Real estate shark.
She said it pretty well. She said, you have to get yourself like a piece of the game, like almost like a poker chip, right?
Absolutely.
You got to get yourself in the game at some point because over a long period of time, real estate's going to go up.
Yep, your equity.
Yeah. So
and you have to have something to trade up with if you want to sell and move up down the road, whatever. I mean, the time to start is always now. That's always the answer.
It is. There's an interesting statistic that many people don't know. If you look at the history of the last, 100 years in real estate, every time the market has dropped and peaked, the next peak has been at least 150% higher than the prior peak.
Yep.
You can look back 100 years. So like you said, it's always a good time to buy. Even if you feel like you're buying at the peak, if you plan on holding onto that property,
there's going to be another big peak.
There is. If you're willing to wait it out and go through that dip, which there always is at some point, and you're willing to wait it out, if you look at history, it's going to go back up higher than what you bought it for.
Yeah. And it's not, what you're saying is, for people who are planning to live in the home,
of course,
it's always a good time to buy.
Yeah.
Sure. If you're a flipper, it may not be a good time to buy at the peak.
Because that is a business.
Yeah, because you want to sell this thing in 6 months. There are better times than others, but if you're a homeowner and you're looking to buy a primary residence, it's always a good time. For sure.
Well, and there's tax benefits.
Yeah,
there's tax benefits over being a renter, and the average homeowner has 10 times more wealth. It's just a minimum than the average renter. And the average renter, 90% of Americans that are millionaires have made their wealth through the American dream, which is real estate.
Absolutely.
Right? So you got to be able to get into that.
Tangible assets.
Well, and look at this too. Buyers who have waited right now versus buyers who bought 6 months ago.
Yeah.
There's a huge advantage for buyers right now because I'm seeing buyers getting closing costs paid because homes are sitting a little longer.
For sure.
Right? The interest rates freaked everybody out. The stock market, the crypto market,
so
buyers are getting crazy.
Let's talk about a fix for that right now. So if I was a buyer who 3 months ago could not get closing costs paid, but I was able to get a lower interest rate, but today I can get closing costs paid, but I'm going to pay a higher interest rate. What should I do with those closing costs? Let's see if you know the answer.
Buy down your rate.
Buy down your interest rate.
Yeah,
you
it's
guys.
less money
ding,
out of
ding,
your
ding,
pocket.
ding, ding. That's exactly what you do. So
well, and then
now,
also buyers 6 months ago had to come out of pocket 20, 30, 60 grand to
above appraisal.
guarantee the seller on a low appraisal, which you don't have to do that now.
So wait, what should you do with that money?
Buy down the rate.
Buy down your rate and maybe even upgrade your home. Ding, 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 ding.
So not
ding.
only do you don't have to come out of that money, but you don't have to come out of pocket that money, but you also can get some money from the seller now.
For sure.
It's actually probably a better opportunity right now. For
So
buyers.
yeah, I've seen a lot of perfect example. I had a buyer who was looking January, February, March, kept getting beat out because she only had $20,000 only, you guys, to pay above appraisal. So above her down payment, closing costs, she had $20,000 to pay above her appraisal. So we kept getting beat out because people were offering $30,000, $50,000, $100,000. Now we offered $25,000 low on a property. And asked the seller for $10,000 in closing costs. Seller came back, so they'd give us $5,000. So now we don't have to pay $20,000 over. So now we have her original $20,000 plus the $5,000 the seller's going to give us. We're going to use part of that $15,000 to buy down the rate to similar. It won't be exactly what it was, but it'll be similar. And we're going to use the other leftover $10,000-ish. She's going to upgrade the backyard.
Yeah.
So now she's actually in a better position than she was. Yeah, interest rates are a lot higher, but she's going to buy it down as much as she can.
There's a lot of opportunity out there.
If you're not being superficial, you make a really good point. You have to look at the whole picture.
The whole picture.
People are so hyper-focused on the rate, they can't see anything else.
No.
You have to look at the numbers and see, okay, well, I lost here, but I gained here. Look at the whole thing and then figure out whether you're making a good choice rather than immediately becoming angry. That does nothing, right?
Yeah.
Well, you got so many people now just sitting on the sidelines because they're pouting.
For sure.
They're pissed off, right?
And time is still ticking
Well,
away.
and as you
While
said,
everyone else is
time
buying
is
and-
ticking away. This is very important. Just because interest rates have gone up today, we're in the 6s, you guys. But we're hearing we could be in the 7s, maybe even 8s. So you guys, don't wait till it gets worse and worse and worse and worse and
wait
worse.
until see what happens in August, or I'm like, dude, don't.
When it's even higher, when it's
even
even more, no. Don't do that.
They're
you guys.
really-
It's the same story as 2008. Remember, we'd sit around and prospect, trying to get people to buy all these distressed properties. No, we think it's going to be a little bit lower than 95,000. Okay,
lower than 60 a square
right,
foot.
right. Literally giving you a piece of property, and you're like, nah. But that's how
greed.
the mind works.
It's greed.
It is. It's greed.
Well, and so again, if you're thinking about it, if you're sitting on the sideline, you don't know what to do. I think it's a great time to still sell before there are more and more homes on the market. 5,700 homes today.
Well, because prices are not going down.
They're not going down.
So let's not, it's not like we.
There's a difference. There's no overbidding in the crazy ways as there was. I don't want to say none, but there's very little. But that doesn't mean prices are going down.
That's what I'm
Just the
saying. So if
overbidding
you're a
is going
seller,
away.
it's not like you're losing equity because you're not selling. Prices are still values are still going up. Yeah, they're not going up by 20 or 25%. Maybe they're going up 3%, but they're still going up.
Yep,
Right?
still
You haven't
going up.
missed the boat.
Yep.
But if you want to sell and buy, you need to do it as fast as you can because the rates are going to continue to keep going
Sure.
up.
I think people need to keep in mind, too, you've got to make sure you're listening to your agent, specifically for pricing. Make sure that you're not living 3 weeks from now.
And you're not
we were just talking
overpricing.
about this today. You have to make sure you're as close to the real value as possible
Because why are the prices that are coming down are why?
because they were overpriced. to
They were
begin with.
Because they overpriced.
Only because they were overpriced. So
Correction.
Landon,
Yeah.
so let's talk about you, Landon, on that. What do you have going? What's the future for Landon? So how many homes do you have under construction right now? Do they all have buyers?
So I have 6 homes under construction. One of them does not have a buyer. The buyer actually decided to move to another state. So that house is actually going to be done in June.
Ooh, standing inventory.
Yes, it is. It's hard to find right now.
Tell us about that house. What is it? What's
So
in there?
it's actually the same floor plan as Courtney's buyer bought. No RV garage on this one. This is the only house that did not have an RV garage. Modern farmhouse, 4,088 square feet, completely dialed in and upgraded on the inside. It's got wood floors, double islands, surround sound.
It's in the Northwest?
It's in the Northwest. It's in the Hayden Heights community, which is 8 homes, gated.
What's the price on that?
That's $175,000, and that'll be done in about 3 weeks.
Okay.
House is going to be, it's beautiful. It's white, black, and gray on the outside, just a really cool farmhouse look. Again, no RV garage on that one, but very upgraded on the inside. Wine fridge standard, ice maker standard. It's pretty.
Do you need a realtor to help you sell it, Courtney?
He's a realtor, you know.
Oh, that's right. You're a realtor here in Vegas. You're a licensed realtor.
You think I didn't ask him?
Okay.
The first thing
I get it every day.
The first thing out of my mouth. Hey.
For some reason, I thought you were licensed in California.
No, I do have my license.
So the rest of your homes are under construction. What lots do you have? Like, what do you have available? Do you have other projects that are coming up?
Yes, I do. I have 8 more houses coming up in the Northwest, and then I have 2 homes that I have started. So all of the floor plan and the elevation have been chosen, but all the interior design could still be done by a prospective buyer. And then I have 8 more homes in the Northwest on TP and Centennial. That will also be a gated community. And then I have 2 more lots left in my Southwest community, which is off the 215 in Jones. And that's a very cool little pocket back there off of Jones and Post.
Yeah.
But all this building, man, you don't really have time to sell these houses, right? You need help.
So Courtney was just asking me today. Courtney was just telling me today about me doing marketing and how I'm getting business. Yes, I should absolutely market more. I'm very aware of this. I go through phases of marketing, and when I do, they sell.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we'll continue to do these homes. Right now, as of today, what you could possibly buy, I have 5 lots you could buy. 1 that's standing inventory home, and then 4 other lots that you could do a lot of your own choices on that. And then in about a month and a half, I'll have 8 more lots,
Nice.
Which are in the Northwest. And then again, I'm trying to get into that custom building world like you were mentioning earlier.
So do you have anything bigger than a half acre?
Right now, I do not. That would most likely be a custom home, because if we're doing these semi-custom production homes and communities, it's very hard to find that zoning for more than 4 houses. And so that zoning does not really exist, and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense from the building standpoint to make them larger.
So if
than
I
half
buy
acre.
an acre to 2 acres, you're going to build me a custom home?
Of course.
Okay.
That,
Love it.
absolutely, we can do that part. That part's no problem.
Okay.
But yeah.
Can I ask you, I got to know, because I love the Northwest. I'm constantly talking about it. Why'd you start building there first?
That's a very good question. I think that one of the reasons is because there was land to purchase and build out there. I wanted to do single story. I wanted a good sized lot. And if you look around, it was either going to be Southwest Blue Diamond area, that general vicinity.
Old Henderson,
or it was going to be the Northwest.
Which I love the Northwest. That's the coolest spot. I live there. So does Courtney.
And I lived up that way when I first moved here.
Yeah.
And so I'm always about that live-work balance. And it was a lot easier for me to build somewhere near my home. I was able to
100%.
check on them, be a part of it, make sure I knew what was going on. And so that's why I started up there. And then I just kind of continued to find properties up there. And then had tons of people begging me to do the Southwest. So I did find a lot in the Southwest. And
it's nice to jump on the 215. You're there in a couple minutes.
Oh, yeah. 15 minutes.
But not Old Henderson.
No. This is a long drive for me out here. This is the longest I've driven in Vegas probably since I've been here. But no, it's I'm willing to look at other places. Again, I don't want to be a 100 home builder. That's what I want to do. I want to build 15 to 20 and then
keep it custom.
Customs.
Because with anything, you get big and you lose control of your product.
Yeah.
And then it,
Which we don't want to happen.
No.
Well, anything else we should wrap this up with? Is there any little tidbits of information that we want to leave with? Courtney, got anything for us? Daryl, have anything for us?
No, but I want to say thank you, Landon, for coming out. I think you build a great product, and I'm excited. I'm excited because my client's happy. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
Yeah, and thanks for making the houses not look all the same.
Yeah,
right,
that's
exactly.
And now
we like the little difference of that for sure.
It's great.
So, all right, you guys. Well, again, Jillian Batchelor here,
Daryl Hannah,
and we are here with Vegas Real Talk. Everything real estate, always real. We appreciate it. Landon, thanks for coming on the show. Check out Landon Miller, and Courtney Beauford is our guest. Bye, guys.
Thanks, Courtney.
See you
Thanks,
guys.
Landon.